Okay, we're gonna start the bread. Very, very easy to make. I'm gonna use my stand mixer. I am going to add my flour, my salt, my sugar, my yeast. Everything goes in at one time. My oil, and then just to get this incorporated, I am just gonna take a whisk and I'm just gonna whisk this together. The reason that I use bread flour is because the bread flour gives you a crispier crust. Yeah, and here, let's get this going. Let me make a little well in the center. Let's go ahead and bring this up. Go ahead and add our dough hook. And you wanna start this very slow. You wanna make sure that your dough gets hydrated at a very slow pace so that it's even. So we're just gonna put it on low speed. Okay, now that everything is pretty much incorporated, I'm gonna drop it and I'm gonna scrape everything off just to make sure we get an even dough. And we're gonna just let this go for a few minutes and then we're gonna see if it's gonna need some more flour. Okay, so just be patient with it and we're gonna increase the speed just a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna stop it right here and I'm gonna show you how the dough feels. See how sticky it still feels? It's sticking to my fingers pretty good. So we're gonna add a tablespoon of flour at a time. Don't do more than that because then you'll start going, oh, I put too much flour, we need more water, and you're just gonna mess up the consistency of the flour. Okay, so we're gonna bring it up and let it go for a few minutes. I'm gonna take this out. I'm gonna sprinkle just a tiny amount of flour on the clean counter. We're gonna get our dough out. Just a little bit, not too bad. I would rather have it a little sticky than too dry because then you get a tough consistency. Okay, we're just gonna give it a little knead here. And this is enough for 2 pizzas. I like to cook my pizza in a cast iron skillet. We're gonna go through the process and it's real nice and soft. It's not sticking to my hands. So we're gonna cut this hopefully in half. Yeah, that seems about right. One of these I'm gonna freeze for a next time. This dough freezes up real well. All I do is wrap it up in some saran wrap, real nice and tight, before the proofing. This one we're gonna proof. The dough is so soft, feels so good. You don't want it to dry up, so we wanna do this kind of quick. Okay, I'm gonna wrap what I'm gonna put in the freezer, saran wrap. Just like that. And we're gonna put it in a bag, pop it into the freezer. When you're ready to use it, the night before, take it out, put it into the refrigerator, let it thaw. In the morning, put it into a bowl, a grease bowl, and let it proof. You will have a very, very nice pizza crust. I'm always planning ahead. I try to have stuff ready for a next time, so I always have one of these in the freezer. Okay, now we're just gonna place our dough into a greased bowl, cover it with some plastic and put it in an area that's draft-free and let it proof for about an hour. Sorry about all the clip-its, guys. I lost a lot of footing. Something went wrong with my phone this day. Anyway, we're gonna blanch our tomatoes. You're gonna cut across at the bottom of the tomato, place it into some boiling water, and then after you see the skins peel off, you're gonna place your tomatoes in a bowl with some ice water, and that's gonna stop the cooking process. Okay, here I have my tomatoes and I'm getting ready to peel them. And as you can see, the skin comes right off. The only thing I will suggest is before you drop them in the water, cut the core out. I could not find my tomato core to save my life this day, but just make your life easy and remove that before you blanch your tomatoes. All right, we're gonna start chopping the onion and the garlic for the sauce. We already have our tomato. I will add a can of tomato sauce. We have red pepper flakes, Italian seasoning, and some extra oregano. In that recipe, if you want to leave the red pepper out because of kids, you can switch it around. Just put oregano or basil, whatever you like. Change it to whatever your flavor is. I'm just going to dice these up very small. If you want to use your food chopper, go ahead. Whatever makes it fast for you. Okay, now we are going to puree our tomatoes. And I'm going to go ahead and add the tomato sauce in here. And just a little bit of water to get that out of here. Just a little bit, because we're going to cook down the sauce anyway. Okay, we're just going to puree this. Just a few minutes, nice and smooth. Now this you can also pick if you want it a little bit more chunky. Just pulse it, make it how you like it, how your house likes it. Okay, I'm going to take you over to the stove and we will cook up this sauce. All right, so here I have a nice size skillet. I am going to add olive oil. Plenty of olive oil. We're going to let this heat up. All right, now that our skillet is nice and hot, we're going to add our onions. Let this saute for just a second. I'm going to add some salt. Season to taste. I do a little bit at a time. You can always put in, but you can't take out. Okay, now the garlic. Now you don't want this to brown or toast in any way, the garlic. And just like that, we're going to start adding in our spices. So I'm going to add in the Italian seasoning, the oregano, and the red pepper flakes. I'm not going to put them all, just half of those. And we're going to bloom these spices, wake them up. They're going to give us some good flavor. Okay, now we're going to add our tomato sauce. That look delicious. It still needs to cook down, so the color will intensify as the flavor of the spices. So I do want this to cook down at least by a quarter of what's in there. But as soon as it comes to a boil, we're going to turn the heat down and let it simmer. And right now is when I'm going to give it a taste so I know what the base flavor of it is. And if I need to start adding a little bit more of oregano or salt or pepper, whatever, I know exactly what it tastes right now. Okay, so I'm going to give this a taste. Okay, immediately I know I need salt and some ground pepper. Other than that, it's very good. All right, it's already starting to bubble and boil. I don't want it to boil real hard. I want it to simmer. And I just make it in the morning and just forget about it for about an hour and it will cook down and thicken up. Don't think it won't, it will. So we're gonna let it sit here and simmer. I will be back in a while to show you the finished product, but look at that, how delicious. I did adjust the taste a little bit with salt. That was it, really. Everything else was pretty good. I like a very seasoned sauce. I am a sauce person for my pizza, so I like a good sauce. All right, guys, on to the next step. All right, everybody, the sauce is done. Look at how nice it thickened up. I'm gonna cut the heat and I'm gonna let it cool down for just a little bit, and then I'm gonna show you how I store it for future use. This is a lot of sauce for one pizza. So I like to make a bunch of it and then store it. I can just get it out of the freezer whenever I need it. Let's move on. What I do is I get these little silicone, these are for large ice cubes. This is just the right amount for one pizza. I don't like a whole bunch of sauce on my pizza, pretty much once. After I fill them up, I freeze them, and after they're frozen, I pop them out. These are real easy to pop out, and then I just put them in a Ziploc bag. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna put these in the freezer, and I'm gonna use the remaining sauce for the pizza we're gonna make. All right, everybody, here is the dough. Look at that, how pretty. I make my pizzas in a cast iron skillet. Here, I have a little bit of garlic butter with some red chili flakes. And what I do is I get my pan, and we're gonna oil the bottom of the pan just real lightly, just so that nothing sticks. I am preheating my oven to 450 degrees. And I keep an eye on it because believe it or not, in this cast iron skillet, it holds that heat. Okay, that's it. That. Ooh, how fluffy. Okay, we're gonna take our pan and we're just gonna flip it over. We're gonna put it on the pan and we're gonna spread it out. It's gonna shrink up a little bit, but then after it relaxes, you can spread it out some more. Look at how nice this dough is. You can even bring the edges up if you want to stuff the crust. All right, here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and sauce the pizza. I don't like a whole bunch of sauce. I just like to have it well covered all the way to the edges. Now I get my pepperoni. I just get it at the grocery store. They slice it up for me however you want it. I like a lot of pepperoni. Look at that. How delicious does that look? Okay, there's the oven. It's ready. I'm going to cover it with some mozzarella cheese. And put some more pepperonis. Whatever I have left, I put it on. Okay, then I get a little bit of olive oil all the way across. Going in the oven, so I will be right back to finish this off. All right, look at that. I wish you could smell this. It smells delicious. About halfway through the baking process, I go into the oven. I check the crust to make sure that it's not burning. But I pretty much have the temperature in my oven down pretty good. I think I said 450. It's 475, the temperature to the oven. And I look underneath to make sure that everything is cooking properly and that we're good to go. So I'm gonna let this sit here for a minute before we cut into it because it's very, very, very hot. But look at that, how delicious. And you can make this for a fraction of what you pay at the pizza place. Let me see if I can grab this. Look at that. How delish. All right, I'm gonna try to slide it out of here because I don't want it to get soggy. Look at that, how it just comes right out. Put my skillet back on the stove because it's so hot. And look at the bottom, guys. Look at how beautiful that is. Yummy. I don't even know if this cutter is big enough. I may have to use my bigger knife. This is pretty thick. It's a deep dish pizza. Let me get a napkin. Look at that. Hot, hot, hot. Look at how delicious that is. Nice and thick if you like thick pizza. Look at that. All right, everybody, I'm gonna take a bite. I'm hungry today. This is my breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Look at that. Doesn't that look delicious? Mmm. 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 This is so good. Mmm. This pizza is so good, guys. Y'all are gonna have to give that recipe a try. Don't be scared of the yeast, guys. Just throw it in there and get it mixed and just go with it. You know, don't be scared. I used to be real scared to mess around with making my own doughs and stuff, but now I just jump right in. If it doesn't come out right, I just do it again. You know, that's how it needs to be. But this is out of this world pizza, okay? Toppings, you can do whatever you like. It's your kitchen. You do what you like. All I can say is you need to try this pizza. It's delicious. This dough. The toppings, of course, put what you like. That concludes the video for today. I sure hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget, thumbs up really helps me. And leave a comment down below. That really helps out the channel. And most of all, don't forget to share with family and friends. All right, I'll talk to y'all later.